Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Drunken Rancor. My name is Chase, and today we will be continuing our breakdown of Heir to the Empire by Tymothy Zahn. So as always, pour yourself a glass of something good. Today I'm drinking Highland Park Viking Honor. So get your kilts and battle axes ready, and let's begin. Chapter 6 begins with the Millennium Falcon coming in for a landing on the planet of Bimizari. The trees move out of the way like flowing tentacles, allowing the Falcon to land, and Han makes a sarcastic comment about the plants, causing Leia to scold him, telling him to keep it to himself. Leia runs through a Jedi calming exercise as they get ready to leave the ship, and Luke reassures her that everything's going to work out alright. Leia and Luke have a short exchange where they finish each other's sentences, knowing what the other was going to say through the Force, and Han comments how creepy it is before asking Chewie if he is sure he wants to stay on the ship. Chewie growls yes, and the three leave him, with R2 to work on the ship. Which I find is kind of funny, because throughout the original trilogy, it's a recurring joke that the Falcon's a heap of junk, and that it's barely held together. But that was when Han was a smuggler with a price on his head, barely managing to scrounge up enough money to keep the ship functioning. Now that he's been with the New Republic for so long, in fact this is after he's served as a general for several years, you would think that the ship would have been repaired and maintained to working order, that it wouldn't constantly need to be repaired every time they stop. But then again, the Millennium Falcon constantly falling apart is part of what makes the ship so endearing. That being said, it's like if one of the United States generals drove around in a busted up van and had to stop in a parking lot and jump it off every time he wanted to go anywhere. Han clips his comlink to his collar instead of his belt, to Leia's surprise, and when she questions him about it, he reveals it's so that he can casually activate it and contact Chewie without being too obvious about it. Which seems paranoid, but it's essentially what a modern security detail would do today. They would have an earpiece in and most likely some way to casually contact other members of their team. But this also makes me wonder, as advanced as Star Wars is, why don't they have Bluetooth? Why doesn't Han just have an AirPod in and just be able to contact Chewie that way? The trio plus 3PO leave the ship and are greeted by the Bims, who speak in a song-like voice that 3PO has to translate for everyone to understand. The Bims welcomed them to the planet before informing Han that he had to leave the blaster on the ship, that weapons were not permitted within the city. Han begrudgingly does this, and the three head off towards the capital. On the way there, it comes to Leia's attention that the Bims didn't mention Luke's lightsaber. Luke says that they probably just think it's part of the Jedi attire, and Han comments that the lightsabers may be so rare that the Bim scanners may not pick them up. Regardless, what they don't know won't hurt them. As they approach the Tower of Law, the location of the Bim government, Leia noticed another larger dome building. She had 3PO ask the Bim about it, and the Bim informed them that it was their main marketplace, that the domes were open to the air. The closest thing I could think of, that I have personally seen, would be the Canton Trades Fair, with the large open-walled barns filled with booth after booth of people peddling their goods. I would think it'd be something similar to that, just on a much larger scale. The group arrive at the Tower of Law, and are greeted by another group of Bim, who apologize, but inform them that the ambassador had fallen ill, and that it would be a while before they could begin their meeting. One of the Bim suggests that he give Leia a tour of the marketplace, while also suggesting that Han and Luke might like to explore the museum up the stairs. Han says he would like to go with Leia, but the Bim says that he would probably find it boring, and again suggests that he would enjoy the museum better. This puts all three of them on edge, but Luke says that he senses no deceit from the bim. Which, I mean, for anyone that has never been to a large market like the one they're describing, it's not a good argument. I like going to museums, but unless it's something I'm really interested in, I will get bored after a while. At a large marketplace, you're going to always find something new and weird to catch your attention. And since this is a galactic market, with imports from all across the galaxy, I would assume that is multiplied tenfold. I mean, Canton is a fairly large trades fair in Texas, and you can find anything from homemade soaps to hand-carved muskets, from llamas to monkeys for sale. And none of that's an exaggeration. I have seen all of that in person before. So, a space marketplace, I wouldn't be surprised if there's not caged rancors for sale or something crazy like that. Luke decides to go to the museum to look for anything to do with the old Jedi Order, as Leia and Han head to the marketplace with 3PO. Han and Leia begin to explore the marketplace with their guide, that informs them that the marketplace had been in place for nearly 200 years, and that the reason the Tower of Law was built there was so that it could be near to the marketplace. Han and Leia talk about the benefit of bringing the planet into the New Republic, but are stopped short when 3PO informs them that their guide had disappeared. After quickly looking around, Han and Leia realized that they may be in trouble, but before they could leave the marketplace, they saw 3 figures approaching with Stockley spray sticks. Funnily enough, this is not the first time that a Skywalker would face off against Stockley spray sticks. While he was a slave to Gardula the Hutt, Anakin ran afoul of bounty hunters wielding these weapons at Gardula's compound, as he helped the ghostling children escape. In fact, it was Sebulba who had kidnapped the ghostling children and brought them to Gardula to begin with, and it was Sebulba who wielded the Stockley spray sticks that Anakin was running from. A Stockley spray stick fired a liquid mist that quickly formed together into a sticky web, like a spider web or silly string, if the silly string was also strong as steel and functions very similar to a taser. Stockley spray sticks are said to be popular in big game hunters, and my only question is why? Even if you had to keep the animal alive, why in a world with stun settings on blasters and tranquilizer darts, why are you using a taser net to bring down big game? Especially because it's hard to remove, meaning that after you get whatever creature you're hunting subdued, you have to get close to it to remove the spray. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to be within range of a rancor once you pull that net off. Neither Han or Leia recognize what the species the 3 figures are, having never seen them before, though they are the Nagori that Thrawn has sent after them. Han tries to sneakily reach up towards the comlink on his collar, but one of the Nagori raises its spray stick in warning. Unable to call for help that way, Han comments to Leia that she may need to contact Luke, but Leia says that they're on their own, that Luke has his own trouble. Well, that's the end of Chapter 6 of Heir to the Empire. Another fairly short chapter. Leave a comment, let me know what's the weirdest thing you could imagine finding in a marketplace like this. And as always, raise your glass, and may the Force be with you.